Good morning, everybody. My name is Crystal. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today is Thursday. Good morning. I hope everybody is having a wonderful day so far. Another glorious day of sunshine here in Rochester. It's boiling hot. It's boiling. Absolutely boiling hot. Last night I found it really difficult to go to sleep. I must have got to sleep about 2 in the morning. That was because of the heat. Absolutely boiling, and there's no breeze coming through the windows at all. So it was stagnant, the air, just hot and muggy, and I was just tossing, turning. I couldn't sleep very well. It was so hot. I managed to get some sleep, but you know, when you don't get much sleep, you wake up a bit grumpy. Do you know what I mean? So I guess it'll wear off during the day. I've made myself a cup of peppermint tea, and I've tried to splash myself with cold water. But I'm telling you now, this is where people get angry for no reason. So I'm just keep trying to keep myself cool and hydrated, and understand that it is very hot outside. It's hot indoors as well. It must be over 20 something degrees. Yeah, so guys, just a couple of things I want to say. One is TikTok. I don't know what TikTok is playing at. I don't really monetize my channel, but they've given me a violation for not having original content. When I did my live stream yesterday, TikTok have given me a violation for not having original content. And it was I don't know if it was because I was playing music in the background. I don't know what that was. But they've given me a violation for not having original content, and they said if you get 5 videos the same, then I won't be able to have a monetized account, which doesn't bother me anyway. It doesn't bother me anyway, but TikTok are allowing people to swear. They're allowing people to bear themselves, and yet apparently I haven't got original content. I'm just sick of it. And I remember they have certain people they keep picking on, and certain people they leave alone and don't touch and wouldn't even do anything. It's just annoying. You can get a violation, and you ask them to show you the piece of video footage where you violated their terms and conditions, and nothing comes back. There's no proof. So it's ridiculous. So going back to yesterday, I went out on the field last night. Basically, the guy upstairs, he hadn't come in. He hadn't come in last night. So he came in the same time as I was going out. So he was coming in through the building as I was going out, and I realised it was him. But I had my camera on, and I didn't want to. Do you know what I mean? I don't really want to put people in my camera, so I went out the back. I went out the back way. All I saw was a big bag, and it was probably the guy's work bag. So I went out the back, and then I turned round the corner, and there was this kid. It's a kid crying. It's heat, it's hot, isn't it? Went round the back, up towards the field. There was a red car, like the guy's Ford Mondeo, but it was red and it had Roadrunner on it. Roadrunner. So the red Ford type car, because my dad used to have these cars. And remember that my mum said that my dad used to have a toolbox and that he used to attack my mother with the tools in the toolbox, or threatened to attack her. So the guy upstairs has got this massive bag that looks like a toolbox, right? My dad had Ford Escorts. He had a black Ford Escort and I think he had a red one as well. So I walked past the red Ford Escort type car with Roadrunner on it, walked up towards the co-op. There was people outside there, and I went onto the fields and I walked up to the top, and there was I think there was a couple of joggers, and the one jogger was dressed up like the woman opposite with the two pug dogs. He had black shorts on, he had a white t-shirt, and he had a blue baseball cap, and he was dressed up like the woman opposite me. I'd gone out in the afternoon in shorts because I was extremely hot, and between 12 and 3 the sun is at its warmest, its hottest, and I'm not going out in trousers and sweating. I almost fainted in shorts and a t-shirt. So you know what I mean? Some countries believe that women bearing their flesh is wrong, but this is Great Britain, and I'm a British woman, and when I went to school I wore netball skirts and t-shirts. I wasn't taught to cover up my legs. So some foreign guys don't like women showing their flesh, but I'm a British woman, so I'm going to do what I've always done and was always taught: be myself. So this one guy, like, I didn't hear him running behind me. I didn't hear this jogger running behind me, and he was just coming straight towards me. So I picked Max up and just stood to the side, because somebody on TikTok wants to upset me by saying things about what I look like, and just being nasty. So while I'm on the field, I get messages: hello pretty, hello beautiful, and they think that winds me up and I could get into trouble if I got cross. And it has happened before where I've got stressed out and just yelled at somebody that doesn't deserve it, basically, because I'm pissed off. So I'm keeping my cool. I'm ignoring what's going on in TikTok, and I'm just, being normal. Because it's my mother that wears the jeans with the things sticking out her pockets. It's my mother that's being diagnosed with a severe mental health illness. It's not me. And they are still trying to make me act like my mother. Some of it's to do with covering up abuse. And I don't miss going in the taxis with these foreign drivers. No, I don't. I don't miss going in the taxis up to my mum or coming back at all. Not while I've heard stories of what have happened to women. No, I'm not. I'm quite happy as I am, coping on my own and just getting on with things, and then just reporting things to the police as and when necessary, because I'm still being harassed, still being asked to go on WhatsApp, still getting calls off of Facebook from strange men. And I'm keeping safe. Anyway, I came back home and I just sat down, and when it got noisy, I put thing I next door would bang 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 up and down near the wall, whatever, and I was getting messages, how are you today? How are you? After they were banging them about and making a hell of a noise, and it wasn't him upstairs, it was them next door. And I kept getting asked, how are you? How are you today? How's your day? How are you feeling? And then bang, bang, bang from them. When I went out yesterday, they were arguing next door, and this man came out of there and brushed right past me in a mood. Our doors are close together. That's another reason why I don't like living in this block of flats. My door is that close to the next door neighbour, and they had an argument yesterday, and this bloke right past me with an angry look on his face. Yeah, I put on a documentary about Rosemary and Fred West. You could see people going up and down the road. There was horns, hooting, activity, and I was just sat in my flat ignoring it. Just getting on with me and my business, and it was so hot. It's like a virtual reality or a reality TV show. It really is. The same people go up and down. The same things go on every day. It's just unbelievable. And they hoot like his car upstairs. The car alarms go off like his car alarm upstairs. And the cars are like his. And that orange car, you know, I don't drive. He's got a basic Ford Mondeo that's about 2002. I don't drive a car. So this car was flashing up and down the road yesterday. I don't drive. So I don't know, I don't get it. I've got no plans for today. I am not going out in this heat. And I'm not getting into arguments with people in shops waiting in long queues that are sticky. I'm not doing it. So I'm just going to keep cool indoors. I don't know if I'll live stream today because TikTok is just being stupid. It's just being silly. People are getting violations for tiny little things. Sometimes you're getting violations and you've done nothing wrong. Because what is it, a bot? What is it telling TikTok that you've done something wrong? Is it a bot, one of these robot bots? What is it? One woman, she's being getting a violation every time she goes on a live stream. They don't want to pay people, do they? Because they're saying if you do this, your channel won't get monetized. You won't be monetized. You'll get off. They don't want to pay people, obviously. So they're making excuses to not pay them. That's what I think. Anyway, I'm not worried about the monetization. I don't do TikTok or YouTube for the money. I just do it to let people know. I think I'm getting too close to the truth as well. And I was talking the truth yesterday about my life and everything. And I think that they're trying to stop me speaking. That's what I think. They're trying to stop me speaking. And that's one way to do it, isn't it? Because now they're getting scared. Because my YouTube channel is small. It's only got a small amount of subscribers. It's only just lately I've been having a real go at my YouTube channel. And maybe I get 100 views and 100 people watch a video. But when you go onto TikTok, sometimes you can get 500 to 1,000 people watching, and I think people are getting a bit like, oh, she's getting a bit bigger, more people are listening, we'll have to stop that. And that's what I think. So, like I said, I just put the television on. I was listening to a documentary about Rosemary and Fred West. That cut off, and then it got noisy again, so I just put something on until they went to bed. And that's how I have to live like. I have to live by other people's noise. I can't go to bed until they finish creating the noise that they're creating. And then even then you can hear cupboards banging and what's it. And it's not that everybody's fault. The place is not soundproof. I've said that before. If it was soundproof, I wouldn't hear this. Alexa, good morning.
Good morning. Today is World Sauntering Day, designed to remind people to slow down and enjoy life. So stop for a second to smell the roses or enjoy the sunshine. Or maybe just perfect your saunter.
Alexa, what's the time, please?
Good morning, Crystal. It's 8:38 a.m.
Alexa, what's the date today? Alexa, the date.
It's Thursday, the 19th of June.
She's sauntering now. She's doing that a lot now. She's got a mind of her own. Like, I'm not going to answer right away. I'm going to wait and piss her off. Alexa, what's the weather outlook?
In Rochester, it's 19 degrees Celsius with clear skies and sun. Today's forecast calls for more of the same, with a high of 28 degrees and a low of 14 degrees.
Alexa, can you tell me a joke?
What do astronauts eat out of? A satellite dish.
And Alexa, which celebrity was born on this day?
Celebrities born on the 19th of June include Boris Johnson, Salman Rushdie, Zoe Saldana, Mia Sara, and Lou Gehrig.
So it's Boris Johnson's ex-Prime Minister's birthday today. Alexa, how old is Boris Johnson?
Boris Johnson is 61 years old.
61 today. Alexa, LBC Radio.
LBC London from Global Player.
Of thousands of people, sadly, as you said in the case of that child, tens of thousands of people do succumb.
Yeah. Hey, Chris, we've been talking for years. I don't want to intrude on personal grief here, but just a story involving you. It's been handed to me that you're going to lose your post at the University of Cambridge. Is that correct?
Yes, a sort of hammer blow. The university have told me that for reasons of cost cutting, they intend to make me redundant from the University of Cambridge.
How long have you been there?
I've been doing my job for 20 plus years, and the downside of this is not because Cambridge is my employer, but my hospital, Addenbrooke's, I have an honorary contract there. I will also be made redundant from my, as it stands, I haven't got anything to the contrary yet. I will be made redundant from my consultant medical job in the virology laboratory as well.
And this is cost cutting by the University of Cambridge. Is it up for appeal, or is that a done deal?
Well, the university's stance is that they are consulting with me. I have asked for meetings with all of the senior people, and I'm aware that they're receiving quite a heavy volume of complaints from people who like to listen to the Naked Scientist programme.
So that would be 150 million downloads since you started it, by the way.
Yeah, it was one of the first science podcasts ever to exist from 2001. We created...
So if you were Cambridge University, you want to get rid of this success story, wouldn't you? You'd want it out of the doors as quickly as you could.
Well, it doesn't cost them very much, and the international reach of that programme, of the Naked Scientist podcast, is extraordinary. I've been very humbled, very touched. People have written some very, very kind, thoughtful and thought-provoking things to me this week, so thank you to those people who are writing in. It can be changed. The university are in their consultancy period, so if they are persuaded that this is perhaps not the best course of action and that there may be an alternative, their minds can be changed. I've actually created a webpage, nakedscientist.com/SOS, which explains more detail around the background to this and how people can let the university know their feelings.
What's that page
I
again?
personally am a bit nakedscientist.com/SOS. I'm personally a bit aggrieved because obviously you mentioned yourself during COVID.
Yeah.
I mean, we spoke a lot. I put myself out there in front of millions of people to try and help people understand what was going on, and I think the university could perhaps remember the huge efforts I went to try to help during that awful period.
Let me know if I can be of any help. You've got emails, obviously, probably for me, certainly for the team, if I can do any more. Chris, good luck. I hope Cambridge University comes to its senses on that one. Thank you for your input. Dr. Chris Smith, consultant virologist at Cambridge University, currently presenter of the Naked Scientist podcast. That video, just warn it, it's desperately distressing to see a child, as Chris said, there refuse water, even though he will be, I think his expression, ragingly thirsty. It's on the OBC app, but it has a viewer warning, as it were, 8:42. Now, some of you, we need a government warning over their changes to PIPs and other benefits, which they say needs to save £5 billion. What is true is we are heading towards a benefit bill of £100 billion. Something has to give. Paula's in Greenwich. What do you want to say, Paula? Good morning.
Good morning, Nick. Thanks for having me on.
What do you want to tell me?
Basically, I was involved in a road traffic accident back when I was 24 years old.
Right.
Somebody drove into my car, left me paralysed. I was told I was never going to walk, but luckily, my mindset, I was a jockey when I was younger, so my mindset was, get up, be strong.
Get it
So I
sorted.
got up.
Yeah.
started
How long
walking.
ago was this?
Yeah.
Do you mind my asking? Because obviously I know your age if you tell me, but you don't have to tell me.
It's actually my birthday tomorrow, and it will be 24 years that I've been actually registered disabled.
Right. So you're 44 or 45 is what we're saying here.
No, I was 24. So
Oh, 24 when you had the accident. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Right. Oh, right.
so I'll
Okay.
be 48 tomorrow, Nick.
Right. I'm so sorry. 48. Okay.
Yeah,
Approaching the
no
big one.
problem.
Right. And
Yeah.
you've not worked then for all those years?
I have, on and off. So I suffered a compound fracture to my spine, which they had to infuse. So I can't bend in certain ways. I can't sit for too long. Can't stand for too long. I walk with sticks to help me, get about. I can't do hills. I can't do stairs. But
Okay.
basically,
I'm going to ask the question. What sort of level of benefits are you in receipt of?
I actually get the highest level of PIP, mobility and care.
And what does that come in at?
About 750. But with my mobility
That's
money,
a week, I imagine, is it? I'm sorry, just...
No, that's a month. £750 per calendar.
Well, hold on. We heard from someone earlier you're getting £2,000.
So
So
I
this
get
system
700.
doesn't work, does it?
No, I get £750 a month for care and mobility. The mobility side of it, I then give back, and I get a car, so it enables me to get about. The car is adjusted and adapted for me to drive without my feet.
Okay. Sorry. Oh, you're driving down the feet. Yes, I've got you. I see. Okay, got it. Right. How likely is it that you might lose some of this?
I'm going to lose probably the car, and I'm probably going to lose my care money as well. So
What?
I'm looking at about, because they
Well, hang on. What will that bring you down to?
I will have, literally will have my universal credit, and then that will go
I
down.
don't know what that is. I'm so sorry,
The
unfortunately.
universal credit, I probably get about £440 every 2 weeks. So it's about £880. But with that will go down because the universal credit has a non-working element.
Right. This is a real mess, isn't it?
It is.
I mean, it's impossible to... This is like doing physics at school for me now. I simply don't understand what's going on.
No, I really don't. I mean, I also, I will lose my contribution to council tax. I'll have to pay that. I'll have to pay more money towards my rent, which I do
Right.
anyway.
To the MPs who,
going on.
and some do, to MPs who are listening to this and don't know which way to vote in the coming weeks, lastly, what would you say to them, Paula?
I'd say vote reform, but in a different way. There has to be a way that they can sort of manage us, or because when I had a review, they always do a review every few years. My review was done over the phone.
Well, you see, that is what I find truly extraordinary. Paula, happy birthday for a couple of days' time. Let's see which way it plays out. Thank you for sharing the figures. We'll have more on this. Also, coming up after the news, While leaders around the world are wrestling with decisions as to what should happen about US involvement with Israel against Iran, and should the UK be there as well, what does it mean to thee and me? Well, unless we're in the military service or we have relatives in Israel or Iran, possibly not that much. But, hang on, if you're thinking of filling up the car or the van or your motorbike with unleaded or diesel or whatever, what's the impact it might have on the forecourt on those prices? Well, the former chief executive of BP, who was in post for more than a decade, Lord Brown, will be joining us after this to possibly give us some pointers. It's 8:46, LBC News headlines, read by Thomas Watts.
Donald Trump is reported to have approved plans for a US attack on Iran but hasn't made a final decision. Another 2.7 million households are to get help with their energy bills this winter. And a watchdog is standing by a decision to reject the use of 2 Alzheimer's drugs on the NHS. LBC weather, most places very warm with sunny spells, a high of 32 degrees.
LBC Travel, I'm Joanne, where the M25 is blocked anti-clockwise just after junction 3 at the M20. It's because a car has overturned. There are delays all the way back to junction 4 at Albington, but clockwise, even though it's all open, is very busy because of onlookers. In Bexley, Bourne Road had to be closed in both directions between the A2 junction and Bexley High Street. It's all down to an accident and that's causing lengthy delays. Also very busy on the A3 northbound to Roehampton after a van broke down earlier. And also in Ashford, Church Road is closed in both directions because of an ongoing investigation. On the underground, there are severe delays on the District, Hammersmith and City and Jubilee lines, and minor delays on the Victoria, Central and Metropolitan.
This is LBC.
Have you heard
About what?
about Boots Opticians' ultimate eye test with Optimap scan?